news is...
You joined me at a great time, Kappa.
Alright, so the good news is you guys get to see... Okay, so first of all, thank you for the raid. I'm going to turn off text-to-speech just because it'll get annoying. Good news is you guys get to see a run from the very start, so let's do this. So right off the bat, I save a minute. That checkpoint saves me a minute. Thank you very much for the raid, Isolytic. I really appreciate it. Hi, Isolytic. Okay, so yeah, I just saved a minute off checkpoint abuse. It skips the opening cutscene. And yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff I'm going to try and explain, do my best to explain it. So, there are lots of different, this game is called Papo Yo. Someone want to do a what is to explain it, but it's the best game about domestic abuse ever made. It's a puzzle platformer. I skipped a cutscene by jumping around the trigger. And I'm gonna be, yeah, this first part is pretty straightforward. So whenever the sound cuts out, that just means I'm alt-tabbing out to fix a problem, which kind of happens often. So, yeah, there are a couple of instances of puzzles like this where you have to pull things out of the environment in order to create bridges. There's one instance of it where you cannot pull it all the way, or where you have to pull it all the way, otherwise it will retract. But everything else, like there's one coming up ahead here, where you only need to pull it for about half a second. And hopefully, I know exactly what caused the White Mountain raid, or the White Mountain fail earlier. So yeah, you don't need to pull it out all the way there, and then you can jump up here. This game is very loose with its scripting, so there are lots of little technical jumps. And like any good 3D platformer, it gives you the ability to jump for like a half second in the air after in order to have your recovery. This was initially a PS3 game. It got ported over to PC in April, and the PC version is by far superior. I mean, the PS3 version had a lot of bad glitches that were, pretty much ruined any chance of this being a stable run. And then the PC fixed like 99% of them, so that's great. Thank you all so much for coming, and again, huge thanks to Isolytic for the raid. What is my viewer count at now? Gonna have to follow you, Isolytic. So this staircase is the one that I was mentioning before. This is the only one of its kind where you have to fully pull it out, otherwise it retracts all the way back. So yeah, I pretty much doubled my view count, thanks to Isolytic's raid. So ideally I would want sub 3 seconds going into this cutscene, which I got. I got 258.5, more or less. And this split is very tight. Like, I never expect to gold it at all. So I'm probably going to be like about half a second behind. Yeah, that's good. I did get rated once before. I got rated by RoboSparkle when I was doing tasking of VR missions. So this thing here, this is a pretty unique puzzle where I'm throwing over the bridges here. And I can place 4. You can theoretically do it with 3. There's actually an achievement for it called the Architect, but I'm not really comfortable with the strategy for doing it with 3 houses yet, because it takes a bit of time. There is a way to make this faster. So coming up is like the first really big glitch in the game, aside from the checkpoint abuse, which is just a practicality issue. You will see what I mean. There is a little house puzzle where you have to use those houses and zip it over and do everything here, but I'm going to skip most of it. And this is a trick I discovered. I've discovered quite a few tricks for this game, actually. Usually I don't find tricks. I just sort of leech off of other people's good work. But this time I found a couple of glitches. This is the most recent one that I found, which saves 35 seconds if I can get it right. This has about 90% consistency now. Yes, surprisingly. There's about 5 of us working on this, and I got the zip. That's good. So I used basically this game uses Havoc, and Havoc is not built for these kinds of creative puzzles. So I just used the game's collision to zip me up Mega Man style, and I saved 35 seconds. That trick, I had an older version of that trick, which was really inconsistent, to the point where it killed like 60% of my runs just on that one trick. But yesterday I found a much more reliable version of it, which means that now I do pretty well on it. 1, 2, 3 and a half. The game expects you to pull this out all the way, but I know better. So yeah, everyone should go buy this game. It's on Steam, it's pretty cheap, it's about $15 if I remember correctly. This game automatically resets your position. I want to put it as far to the left as I can. Yeah, I know, I need to fix that typo. It should be Havoc isn't built. But I'm kind of doing a run here, otherwise I will. I will fix it the first chance I get after I finish this attempt. So another thing about ladders in this game, you cannot grab ladders in midair. It's impossible. The game doesn't allow it just for some scripting purposes. It doesn't allow you to do that. And I'm going to be a little behind, like not even just a little under a second. So now I'm using a W tap, which I failed, but I'm still going to get a decent speed boost off of this, which means that I'll be able to outrun the white line, which is meant to guide me through this slow-mo section. Also, the top hat is not a relative part of the character model. There are 25 hats that you can find. I have 23 of them. And there should be a list somewhere. I will add a Moobot command, which will give a link to the list of all the different kinds of hats there are in the game. My favorite is the fish hat, but I really wish they had like gameplay purposes, but they don't. Also, every character in this game speaks this kind of Simlish. It's a Simlish that's meant to sound like Brazilian Portuguese. This game was developed by a Colombian-Canadian developer named Vander Caballero, but he set it in Brazil. And this is based on how he used to cope with having an abusive father. And I got a stutter, unfortunately, which is something that's... I had to stop for about half a second. Otherwise, I would have fallen off without some really precise platforming. That's an issue. There are some areas where I will always stutter. I'm going to use another checkpoint abuse. Yeah, I used another bit of checkpoint abuse there to skip the double jump tutorial. There are 4 places in this run where I use checkpoint abuse. The first is right at the beginning. The second one was right there. And then there's a third one coming up in a couple of maps. And then there's a 4th one towards the end of the game. So this is the other big mechanic of the game in terms of Kiko's abilities. Kiko is the main character. Lula. Lula is his little robot buddy. I call Lula Jason, for reasons that should become obvious a little later in the run. Because my internet is terrible. There's a neat little trick that you can do here. I have the Lula button bound to 2 keys. I have it bound to scroll down and Q. I use Q for one specific instance where you have to press for Lula's help once, and then don't get the glitch. Or otherwise, there's a glitch where it will happen here. So you still have to wait for this monster, building monster, to come over here before this Lula prompt will activate. However, there is a trick where you can sort of climb on the buildings and wait for a while. So now I'm going to skip another puzzle by activating this and going inside, which skips the puzzle of having to go in there. And then I'm going to use something called a pipe zip, which allows you to run at faster speeds when you're in these pipe-like areas. Unfortunately, there are only 2 areas in the game which have pipe-like substances in them, and the other one is kind of impractical. So this is probably, that is the fastest method of movement in the game, but it's only worth it for like 2 maps. So I'm going to try and get it again. I sort of got it there. There we go. Hey, Rastmaster, how you doing? Good on your Tomb Raider upload. I'll have to look at that sometime. Come on, bro. Zip. There we go. That's the zip. That is the zip I know and love. So this is Cula, my trick for this. It's the only time I use Q for Lula as opposed to scroll mouse down. Because there's a glitch in this area where if you press it for more than twice, the pipe will go up and down. Please get the... Oh, I didn't get it. There is a small chance that you will be able to skip this little slow walk section if you jump at just the right moment and slide through the trigger. It's a difference of 15 seconds between doing the slow version of this strategy and the other one. Overall, it saves at least like 10 seconds. And you can also do a slower version of the pipe zip here, but Kiko's not cooperating. So I'm only going to be a couple of seconds behind because when I did this split has the pipe glitch in it, but not the zip. So I'm actually not that far behind. Also, the red that I'm getting is based on my theoretical best time, which is based on all of the best, which is basically a sum of my best splits. My world record is about 1:30 slower than my theoretical best. So I have about 1:30 mistakes to play with here. Now here I'm going to try and get something called the boost glitch, which is where if I throw this correctly, Kiko will be stuck inside the block and I'll be able to jump. It just saves the jump. I didn't get it, but I set it up in such a way. That I was able to get the slower strategy very quickly. So now I'm going to try to grab this next block during the cutscene. It's called early grab. Let's see if I can get it this time. I almost got it. I didn't get it. I was like a couple of frames away. Well, considering that my best splits and my personal best are like less than 2 minutes apart, I think I'm able to bear it quite consistently. So the point of this puzzle is you have to wait for this girl's named Alejandra. She's either Kiko's lover or her sister, depending on how you interpret it. This game is very allegorical, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. And we trap her in there, and then she's going to drop the cube. Unfortunately, there's no way to really skip this. I've tried. While this game is very loose with its scripting, there are only like a couple of instances where where you can actually abuse the scripting, but they're really helpful when you do. So I have to wait here anyway. It didn't matter how quickly I throw it. I wouldn't have been able to get over to here in time to get that earlier cycle. So 150 going into here is okay. I'll lose a couple more seconds on this map. So I'm tapping here because this map has a propensity to have something which I call sticky keys. In the PC version of Papo Yo, it has a tendency to not recognize your input on certain maps. If you if you put it in correctly, and I only lost 2 seconds. No, I lost less than a second, which is really good. Yeah, the game has a tendency to lose, to not keep track of your input if you do it in like a certain area. So that's why I tap it to make sure that I can move as fast as possible. This is Monster. He is the other main gimmick of the game. Lovely little fella, isn't he? So adorable and harmless. I'm sure he won't be harmful to us at all. Wouldn't you trust a face like that? So I gotta get a little bit of a speed boost off of him. Not quite as far as I normally like, but I'm going to go around here, and this will give me another speed boost off of Monster, because Monster runs significantly faster than you do. And if you can get ahead of him while he's running, you can get a little bit of a speed boost. So these are coconuts. The other basic thing about the coconuts, Monster will eat all the coconuts, and he will go to sleep when there are no more coconuts on the map. So I want to manipulate his AI here. This is a bit luck-based. However, if I do this quickly enough and efficiently enough, I basically want him to grab this coconut before... Okay, I didn't get it. He has this animation where he says he's hungry. I didn't get it yet. I didn't get it, unfortunately. But that only loses about 4 seconds. And honestly, I have like 90 seconds to play with in terms of mistakes. Luckily for me, he went after the other one. So basically, he's going to go to sleep here once all the coconuts are done. and I want him to move as little as possible while going into his falling asleep animation. He's still better than Ashley Graham, though. And I lost some time because Monster's being an idiot, but hopefully, if I get him in the right position here, he's going to slide over to his little sleeping spot. And we're good. So, next little break is over here. Not that much of a sequence break, relatively speaking, but it's still pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, I'm not concerned about all the red at all. Not in the slightest. Now hopefully if I climb onto this tree fast enough, I will be able to grab this. Yeah, I grabbed the coconut tree before the camera freaked out, which is great. So here I'm gonna break the puzzle by placing coconuts at a certain position. Basically, I want Monster to stay on that platform that's going to rise up. So basically, when I'm going to go over here, I'm going to get him to hit the switch. He's going to be slow, which is bad. That's okay. I didn't get it. However, I still have all 3 coconuts, which is actually a very good thing because I can still pull this off. This cutscene will still trigger. However, I have him in a position where I want him to be low can for life. Yeah, I still managed to pull it off, which is good. So I didn't lose that much time, really. I lost about 5 seconds. There you go. I actually have viewers this time. So coming up is the next instance of checkpoint abuse, which is actually going to save us about 45 seconds. Well, not on the splits, but like in general. I'm going to break this puzzle by going over here, dropping down, and then jumping, basically skipping all of the puzzle there. And then we're going to call for Lula, who's going to open up the switch. And then we're going to do the puzzle skip, which is going to warp us back to... yeah, I lost all this time because of bad luck with Monster. However, I still, like I said, I still have more than enough to at least, I'm not too concerned. Like I said, despite being 35 seconds behind, not concerned yet, because there are still several other puzzles later on that I could save the time on. And, like I said, the red is based off a theoretical best, and not on my actual 1:16:52 splits. So there's a very rare glitch here, which I've only ever gotten once, and which I'm not going to get again. Because I already know that this is the first trick I found coming up, which skips part of this puzzle and requires a bit of timing to pull off. First, we're going to jump over here, and normally you'd have to lure Monster over here by closing the frog pipe, killing the frog, and then having him lumber over here so that he goes to sleep, and then you would be able to bounce on his belly to get to the switch. But I just climb on the scenery. It's faster by about 45 seconds, I think. Okay, I've been talking a lot. I need to take a breather for a minute. You can ask any of the mods. They know almost as much about the game as I do at this point, considering how much they've been watching. Especially Ego. Yep, the skips. This is Frogger RNG. Frogs hop around randomly. I'm getting semi-decent luck. Well, that was close. The throwing trajectory on these frogs is really short, because Kiko throws like a little kid, understandably. So now I have to be very precise about this throw here. So now, this is where the skip really comes in. He's going to ignore the pipe and run straight to the other one. And there we go. That skips the first half of that puzzle. Or rather, it activates the two parts of the puzzle at the same time. Also, sorry about the frame rate drop there. My stream always goes haywire in that particular cutscene. It drops already, but I mean the frame rate drops on my computer, but not nearly as much as it is on stream. So now we need more Frogger RNG. How's everybody doing, by the way? Are you all sufficiently entertained? I hope. No, that was actually kind of close. Actually kind of close to screwing up that trick by accidentally killing the frog. Thanks, Brassmaster. You're too kind. Okay, so you're about to find out why we want to be murdering all these frogs, because, let's just say that frogs are not good news. Frogs are, not a particularly desirable thing in this environment. We're about to see why. It is fun. Here we go. Frogs. We could always use more competition. I mean, we've got about 5 or 6 of us now, and I think 2 are about to drop out, so it's great. I already have a couple of people learning. So, frogs. Oh no! No! What have you done to my monster? Frogs, please! Okay, I got really lucky with the AI. That could have screwed me over so badly. If he hadn't roared there. So basically I'm collecting these blocks. Even then I'm going to do a sequence because you're supposed to collect them from all 3 of these stamps here, but I'm only going to collect from 2 of them. Which means that it's going to turn getting the berry here into a little bit of a jumping puzzle. Normally you just run across the bridge, but I'm going to have to skip, because I'm skipping cubes, I'm skipping 1/3 of the cubes. I'm only getting these 2. And there's a specific reason why I am going in this obtuse, out-of-the-way order. Because if you go in the other order, then Monster has a much bigger chance of throwing you around. I think it's almost guaranteed. So yeah, this should not require the amount of jumping that I do normally. Except that it does. Here we go. Okay, so I lost some time because I... Oh god, Jackson Parody, I love you so much. Frogs turn monster into Rob Ford. So frogs, but frogs is supposed to be whiskey, not Coke. I want my last one back. It is possible, by the way, to dodge monster when you're in that first section. The first section when monster charges you. It's meant to be scripted. The scripting is supposed to work in that he will throw you every time, and he usually does. However, once I have been able to dodge him as a result of his bad AI. Once out of the hundreds of times, and Steam says I put 55 hours into this game so far, which probably isn't nowhere. It probably is nowhere near enough to be decent, have a decent run out of it. But also keep in mind that if you do want to pick this game up, there are certain set pieces involving monster and puzzles, which will really screw you over. I have lost and won races on the basis of one single monster puzzle before. So I know what, I'm prepared for what happened. Yeah, this is the symbolism of monster. I will leave you to figure it out. Okay, during this next cutscene, I will very quickly grab a drink because I'm losing my voice here. And I'm going to wait for the split and then grab a drink. So just give me a minute here.
Chamaemu, Rofa Hapa o Papo.
Sa, não é?
Leona, Fasolaya. Achetano.
Asu, omo?
Acevo, Fasora su o Papo.
Ué? Sa ué o nai sedana.
Amaye eta o chamano. Lea e te darahu. Sosan.
Ugh. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, this is not the first time that you will get feels from this game. But this will probably be the first and only time you will ever feel feels for Monster, though. So, House Puzzle. This is one of my favorite puzzles in the game, casually, and one of my most hated when it comes to speedrunning it.
Lula! Lula!
Jason! Jason!
Lula!
Sean!
Lula! 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 Lula!
Yeah, you will stop the feels for Monster pretty quickly. Let's just say that, without spoiling anything. Okay, so the quick strategy for setting this up initially is that I get the quick grab of the coconut on Monster, and I got a little bit of a speed boost on Monster, but not in the direction I wanted. So that's a bad thing. Monster's collision is kind of iffy anyway. It's very forgiving, is what I'm saying. So this is the house puzzle. There aren't very many puzzles like this in the game. There's a handful of them, although this one has a rule that the others don't follow by, which is that every time, because this is a bridge that you're building, every time you put a piece back into the bridge, it resets. Which is there's a similar puzzle late in the game which does not follow that particular rule, and it's I mean, it's hard to run because it's difficult, but it's much more tolerable. So yeah, this will probably be one of your favorite puzzles if you play this game casually, but it will be a nightmare. And I didn't get the grab glitch, unfortunately, it was too far in there, but I was trying to position myself so that I would be grabbing I would start the cutscene grabbing the switch here. So this is the whole shtick of this building, of this thing, is that you're making a bridge out of these little buildings here. And I have analyzed this route countless times, and I think I've come up with the fastest route, which still requires some pretty hard execution, but overall this start is a bit sloppy, but I think I can still pull this off. Yeah, this jump always, these next series of jumps always scare me, because I have to make this jump through the glitchy camera while the building is flying away. By the way, the game just sort of gives up on collision when buildings fly. Probably because, you know, this is UE3. This may look way too colorful for a UE3 game, but this is a UE3 game which uses a basic Havoc physics engine. And the game just can't handle stuff like this. So the developers just said, you know what, fuck it. We're not going to give them any collision once they start flying off, for which I'm grateful, because that saves time. So now the next bit of this puzzle that we need to do, I'm in a bit of a cycle here, which is going to be helpful. Is that we need Monster to be brought over. This is the point here. We're going to have to get Monster over to here. I'm going to throw a coconut. He's going to grab it, and then, because there are no more coconuts in his aggro range, he will go to sleep. And you want him in that chair, and then you have to build a bridge for Kiko to... yeah, he's asleep over there. I always double check, because sometimes Monster's AI glitches out here, and I haven't had runs ruined by that, but I have had races ruined by that, so. That's good. And the game is also very forgiving with slopes when it comes to this bridge. There is a certain height where it won't allow you to climb the bridge, but once you cross like the first couple, the game will just say, screw it, if you made it this far, you might as well climb the rest of the way. This one I always take cautiously, because I don't know, I wasn't able to secure the angle before the camera got in the way. Ugh, I've done a lot of talking. So yeah, this is the fastest route that I've found for these bricks. The pipe puzzle that comes up much later in the game is a much bigger hassle. And it's also good on this last one, because the only other way to reach it is from over there, and that would require doing the very difficult to set up bridge twice. Whereas this one might take a little longer, but it's also a lot easier to set up, because by this point it's the last piece of the bridge you have to pick up. So yeah, that's good. This is going to be a very good time. It's not going to be gold, but it's going to be a good time, and I'm happy with how this is going. If I can get a good setup on this, no. Always want to be careful on this. Better safe than sorry, especially with this jump. I'm more than willing to give up a couple of seconds if it means not having to run over here and jump and then screw it up. And there are so many other places where I can gain back time anyway. I'm not too... Like I said, all of the red is based off of my theoretical best. Plus, I'm only going to lose like a second anyway, so... Ball and cup. Key guess. Left, right, or center. You don't win anything except for pride, I suppose. So, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Left! The only RNG that matters in this part, in terms of speed, is I want the last one to be in the center if possible. And that's it. The rest of them I can deal with. Right! Yeah, Jordan got all three right last time, and we were suitably amazed. What's my viewer? Is my viewer count still at 20? Just out of curiosity. Nah. Okay, so I lost about a quarter of a second there. Because otherwise I'd have to make another turn. 23, excellent. Maybe Broman will raid me, who knows. I already got the excellent raid from, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot your name. Why did I... ISO raid, I think? Yeah. Isolitzen? Man, this is embarrassing. Isolytic, there we go. I knew it was something with an ISO in it, because I remembered it was ISO raid. Okay, see you, ISO. It's 4 a.m. where you are? It's only 2:40 p.m. where I am. In case you couldn't tell, I'm Canadian rather than English. I realize that some people are confused by the name, but I've been using this user handle since high school. So here we go. Here we go. This is the part where you saw me fail last time. So hopefully let's not do that again. Kiwi is New Zealand. Okay, so the main way to avoid this glitch would have been to go to the stairs. I had failed a stair jump earlier. I hadn't had time. There we go. Alright, so I have a smaller window now to grab the third one, but I'm fairly confident I can get this. Yep, there we go. That's the strategy I wanted to do earlier, and which I failed horribly. This will be a pretty good White Mountain. I could tell already because the setup that I had for the earlier cube is pretty good, and so judging from where I am, I need to go to the left on this one. If you screw this one up when you're playing casually, you will connect the pipe that's over there that I just passed, and you'll have to deal with a drunk monster for the rest of this, which is not fun. However, I know ahead. I've planned ahead. I know exactly what to do for this situation, and I am not going to have any frogs. This will be a frogless until the very end because you can't ignore. You can't get the last. There are frogs that spawn afterward because you need the frogs for a scripted event, By the way, guys, I suggest you get out your Kleenex. Because the end of this part is gonna get some feels. There's gonna be some feels involved. Not gonna lie. Oh, come on, I just got rid of the dinging. So yeah, get your Kleenex and your Bible thumps ready, kids. Because this next cutscene is going to the heart. I always want to move my camera here, just so that I can set this up properly, because this jump is a little... That's the wrong jump. This is the jump I wanted off. There we go. So now I want to move the ladder just enough so that I can grab over to the switch, because there's invisible walls on either side of this. You're only supposed to be able to grab it from here. And now, once I end up actually moving the right side, the last one, then okay. I just wanted to make double sure. This was a difficult jump that I made. I'm still not entirely sure whether or not this is faster. Okay, I'm gonna be like 3 or 4 seconds behind. It shouldn't be too bad, though. So yeah, that's frogless, going into this, at which point the frogs that spawn here are unavoidable. No, I didn't. I still don't know what causes it.
Lula! Lula!
Okay, so I'm only like... That was like 3 seconds. Okay, get out your Bible thumps, because you're gonna need them. Lula!
Vai, Papo!
No, not Lula! Lula is killed. I should probably rename my split to Lula is Kill. And I got so depressed after that ending that we're gonna have to start the whole run over again, guys. Sorry. So depressing! Go all the way back to the first map. Crying baby hype. I couldn't resist. I always resist. I'm definitely including that in my commentary. Or in my my marathon commentary. Okay, this is the next big set piece puzzle, which has a potential for a lot of gained or lost time. It is known as Goal, or the soccer puzzle. Oh hey, Decided Sloth! How are you? Wow. How are you doing, man? How's the Dishonored DLC? Are you planning to run the Dishonored DLC, or? I saw you playing it casually. Anyway, this is Papo Yo. And despite what the red splits might tell you, this is actually a very good run. This could be a low 116, which would be a world record. Because 116.52 is what I currently... Anyway, so I'm hoping that I could get a trick which I've been planning for a while as to whether or not I could jump down here during this cutscene. Which I can't. I was in the right decision there, so I gotta mash space going into this. So that I don't accidentally grab the ladder, because that would have wasted about 3 or 4 seconds. And this is the soccer puzzle. I gotta need concentration for this one. Ask one of the mods if you want to know the strategy, because I need to be concentrating here. Okay, good. Very good. Very good start. I should make a Mubot command for the soccer strats. Oh, excuse me, the football puzzle. Football es como real, as they would say in Brazil. I accidentally did my safe strat. Come on, Froggy. Okay, so now I have a timer here where I need to very quickly go over and hope that monster will spawn in time. Okay, good. Alright, so I'm not going to lose that much time here. I might actually... This might actually be a glide if I could get this to work out fine. Claude! Hello, Oswig. So jumping into that, yeah, Glot on Soccer Puzzle is really rare. So I'm already, you know, at a pretty good advantage when compared to my world record, which had a mediocre soccer puzzle. You can waste like up to 2 minutes if your execution and your luck is bad. So I use this portal, otherwise Monster would grab the frog out of my hands when I'm tempted to move it over to this part. And this part is a bit slow, I'll admit. I don't like this part as much. This is probably the best chance to ask me any questions if you want to, because I don't need to concentrate as much here. So go ahead. Ask away. This is a live anime session. Yeah, it's cool in concept, but it's basically an auto-scroller with a couple of nasty jumps. And if I'm lucky, I found this game out. There was a conference. Oh, I'm from Toronto. I found this game. I met Vetter Caballero, the designer, when I was at a game conference in Toronto, and the studio's from Montreal, but they came down to Toronto for a public speaking event, and I played the PS3 version of this. Really liked it, despite the glitches, and I bought the PS3 version. I beat most of it, and then it came out on PC in April, and I picked it up again. It wasn't a kid the father killed, it was a man. That's what started his alcoholic rage. He couldn't deal with the grief of killing the man, and that was how the monster was born. Or at least that's my interpretation of it. There are essays built around the symbolism of this game. Frogs, please. Frogs, please! Parts of it are good. The donuts are good. The coffee is alright. It depends on which teams you're going to. Ice caps are to die for, despite being really trashy. And yeah, overall it's good. Although I've come to prefer McDonald's coffee in general. Yeah, the donuts are great. Donuts are always good, especially the ones that are chocolate covering. Okay, so here I gotta do a little time saver, which doesn't seem like that much, but it saves about 2 seconds. Yeah, like one of Canada's most notorious serial killers, Karla Homolka, when she was freed and was asked in a television interview, the first thing that she wanted to do when she got out of solitary was that she wanted an ice cap, and this was back when ice caps were supposed to were like new in like the early 2000s. Also, if I move further enough to the left going into here, no, I missed that. I will avoid a camera glitch, which I avoided. Normally the camera goes really crazy right about there. So I'm losing. This is a sloppy centipede, but I had a good ubiquity, which was the puzzle with the 2 frogs, as opposed to the 1 frog puzzle, which I did earlier. That was the football puzzle. Yeah, the late game gets really crazy. Here you can't do the time saver that I did earlier because you have to go over to the switch and change the direction of the centipede anyway. So you don't actually save any time by doing this earlier. I'm doing it earlier than intended anyway, but only at the spot where I switch over. So it's a time saver, but it's a smaller one. Most of the big time savers have come and gone. There's a couple left. Minor things, and some luck involved. No, it's this one I want. You don't actually lose any time due to the going from switch to switch, due to how the puzzle is designed and the level design for that section. So there's always an audio cue when you get the right one. It really avoids the trial and error of something like basically imagine Colony Ship for Sale cheap from the first Marathon game, except you got an audio cue whenever you got the switch puzzles right, and you basically get what this is like when you play it for the first time. I actually did not realize the connection until just now when I thought of it. That's probably the best metaphor for this section. Like Colony Ship for Sale cheap, but good. Oh, you're Canadian too, Sloth? I didn't know that. Okay. Maybe, I think you might have told me at some point, but there was an Edmonton Final Fantasy Marathon. Sloths, they should really aim for like Manitoba, or maybe Saskatchewan. Somewhere in the middle of the country. Mind you, I don't think there's many places in Saskatchewan with good enough internet. And yeah, so it's Saskatchewan, not Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is for foreigners. Along with Toronto, as opposed to Toronto, which is how you really say it. The second T is silent. I've been having really good. I'm only going to lose a couple seconds, I think. So I'm going to do another jump here, and then a checkpoint skip. Yeah, I'm going to be just out of glide range. That was very good, considering the ubiquity I had. Oh, I forgot you could do that. I called for Lula in the middle of the checkpoint skip. I completely forgot you could do that. Even though Lula is dead. He's just having PTSD. Even though the entire point of this third act is to revive Lula. You can also have Kiko call to Lula during the Fade to White before you even meet Lula, which is a couple chapters in. Oh, please. No. Okay, good. Whew, that was close. I was in a bad position there. Normally I position myself directly where the frogs would spawn, and then just mash like that. That's what I was supposed to do. Thankfully, I only lost like 3 seconds. If Monster had run over there and grabbed the frog, that would have been disaster. Okay. So next up, after this little platforming section here, is the Lula Revival Ritual, which has some of the heaviest luck in the game. Probably right up there with Deception and the soccer puzzle. Also doesn't know that my computer always stutters there every single time. I don't know whether it stutters on other PCs, but it does on mine. So, is everybody hyped? I'm definitely on pace for world record at the very least. Also, Midget, is Broman still in the main menu of Borderlands 2? Ah, okay. Well, just let him know that I'm still doing world record runs, and I don't know whether I'm going to attempt another... I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to attempt another run after this. I'll take a stretch break regardless, and then I'll see. Maybe I'll do another raid after, if I get a good time on this. I should be relatively okay. So I've got 40 seconds of mistakes to work with, and there's only a couple of big sections of really powerful stuff left, so... Yep, I'm doing alright for myself, I think. What does everyone think of this game? Or for those of you who have not seen it before? Okay, first things first, we grab a coconut, take it with us. This is part of the trick that I'm about to do. Okay, so basically what I did there is I trapped him earlier than I was supposed to. I was supposed to go down, I was supposed to grab the coconuts from the trees and throw them down, which would have involved a lot of wasting time with Monster, but I managed to get... That's first cycle on this first section. There's also a pretty random glitch involving being able to move during this cutscene under the right circumstances, but really it's not worth it because the map is small, and also everything is nearby, and really it's not worth it because you can get lost really easily when you don't know where you're going because you're still moving. Your movement is constantly changing to accommodate the camera. So this is the next. Gotta chase Monster, have Monster chase us, and then just squeeze the anger out of him two more times, and then we'll be good. This is on pace to be a sub-8 split anyway. Awesome. I don't know whether I'll be available to go. It depends on what my workload is like. Okay, so this is a little luck dependent, depending on what Monster does. Okay. Basically, I had to wait for him to roar, otherwise I wouldn't have time to run down here before he had the chance to grab me. These chase scenes are very tight. They're even tighter when you're on gamepad. It's supposed to keyboard and mouse, where you don't have the same camera freedom that you do. Ooh, that was close. That was very close. Okay. Whew. Alright, hard part's over. Hard part's over, for this section anyway. Lula's back! Yay! Lula! Okay, more luck. I need to wait for Monster to do something stupid. Okay, good. Here's my chance. Beautiful. I lost 4 or 5 seconds on luck, and that's it. I'm good. I should be on world record pace. There's also a bit of off-camera cutscene work that you can do as soon as it pans over to Monster. After this, basically it's just showing you the path you have to take with Lula, blah blah blah. And now I can go over to Lula. Lula. There we go. Okay. Let's not screw up on these jumps. Coming up, the next map is Pipes, which is by far the hardest map in the game. Okay, good. I fell there last time. Okay, let's take this. We gotta take this. I need to learn my backup strats, remember my backup strats, and just go with the flow. Okay, so that last one on the left there is the one I want to leave for last. Because there's no way back up to the rooftops from there. Oh, I missed that. Okay, well either way I can still do this first. Not much time lost. Especially compared to the other pipes that I've had on TVs. Okay. 10 pipe without touching the ground. That's a first on a run. Yeah, 10 pipe without hitting the ground is huge. Gotta wait for these pipes anyway. World record hype. I'm already at a significant advantage. Yeah, the game expects you to put down 12 pipes right there, not 10. So here's another little shortcut I found. You might recognize this as the centipede area, by the way. So we're going to use a similar shortcut to what we did before to skip a little part of the running away from Monster. Monster should be like right on our heels right now, but he's not. I used that barrel as a reference point for making this cutscene jump. I'm very happy with how that went, by the way. I'm extremely happy. I checked for ages to see whether there was a cutscene skip here, and I came this close to getting it. But no luck. No such luck. Alright. You can start spamming WR inbound on whatever chat room you find. I'm 50 seconds behind my theoretical best, and which means I'm about a minute ahead of my world record. If that helps at all. Not yet. We still have to see Troll Cycle, and then it's WR confirmed. There's still a couple of parts of Pumpaception that can screw me over. So I'm... This next jump is a dick. It's possible to make this first cycle, but I'm not doing it. God, no. Okay, I gotta time this right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Got it. I'm good. For now. And I got the time saver. I might get the key glitch here. I might get the key glitch. Yeah, I got it. I'm still gonna almost glide on this. Yeah, this will almost be a glide. Like 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm not even a minute behind, so... Get out your Bible thumps, kids. So you're gonna need them again. Okay. The reason I was jumping there is because there's a rare glitch where you can, where Kiko will spawn in a really weird position. Let's hope I can get this one coconut. God damn it! Just missed it. I didn't get it in my best split either, so that's something I've only pulled off in practice. So I didn't really lose time, per se. Get in there, buddy. Yeah, I'm not going to gold on this, I don't think. This is an awkward split to hit. I really have to put it in a better position than this. Actually, yes, I will glide. I got the Lula very early, which means I can stop strafing. Yep. Okay. Just need to keep my head on straight. Remember the time saver on the final boss, and I should be good. You guys hype? You can officially spam world record inbound, by the way. I'm about to reach a point where I can take a bathroom break. Go spamming inbound SDA, world record inbound, baby. Okay, now I can go to the bathroom. Okay, it's official. New WR inbound. Yeah, I got Glad on. I'm probably not going to get gold on this because this Stairmaster is a pretty tight and not very difficult split anyway. See if I can get a dad crotch shot. Papo. Come on, Papo, don't do this to me. Ah. So yeah, if you didn't get it already, Monster is Papo. Literally and metaphorically. It's world record hype! Yay! World record! Even Kiko is dancing for joy. Luck of the top hat. Can't really go inside his model though. And let's do this. WR hype. I'm probably, actually, you know what? I have enough time to do another run. Most likely. After this, so. We can get the early jump. That'll cost me some time. Woo! I've never seen those characters before, but I will assume that WR hype is about to occur. Just kind of hoping for a cutscene boost there, but anyway, go tell your friends this is WR time, because the only difficult part left now is the final boss, and there's about 2 minutes of this section before we get to there. So you guys ready for some real MLG strats? Stairmaster is the toughest part of the game, I think. Look at how tough this is. Look at how tough this is. So tough. There we go. Glotting the unglottable. And no, I am not going for Save Monster. We all know how that turned out. I might show off. Let's Save Monster. I'm gonna go to the right this time just to be different. Hashtag Dad of the Year 2013, though, is definitely a thing. It doesn't matter what order you put these in. Okay, final boss hype. I got stuck in my own memories, but final boss hype. There's a 5-second time saver that I haven't used before, which I discovered yesterday. So I could probably save some time here, hopefully. Final boss hype! Let's do this. Just need to not do anything stupid. Just focus. This first phase isn't too hard. That's 1. 2. Yeah, the hitbox for the receiving out of the pipe is bigger than it looks. 3. Go over here for the switch. Gotta play really conservatively. Okay. Okay, good. He didn't fall through. That's good. He's still there. Okay, where am I? Alright, this is it. This is the time saver. Some of you saw me practicing this earlier today. Let's do it. Okay. That's it, I think. No, it's a little over. I'm gonna adjust it when I... Over here. That's it. That's the position I need. That wasn't really wasting time there. Okay, 2, 3. Got it, okay. Time for the time saver. Got it. We're good. Let's do this. I still might lose a little bit of time because I was conservative, but... Alright. World record hype. Actually, no, this will be a glod. Woo! Okay. I'm calling it now. It is not going to be a 115. It might be like a 116.05. But, hey, I'll take it. What's my VR count right now? 20-ish something? Hey, J numbers. You're just in time. Yeah, definitely not gonna be. Yeah, no way this is gonna be 116, but or 115. It'll be close to 116 now. Actually, just that I think. Yeah, no. 116.03. Not bad. Not bad at all.